Is called to order this 13th day of May 2019. We welcome you here, and we have standing room only here. We're happy to have a big crowd. We know many of you are here for honors and recognitions, and we always enjoy doing that part of our program. Let me mention a couple things to start with here. Dr. Phipps is not here tonight. He left around noon or so today. He had a family illness, kind of a serious situation, so he has headed down to Chapel Hill. Dr. Carol Burns usually is here. She's at the town council meeting in Granite Falls, and the word was that if she didn't show up, they would not have a quorum to have a meeting. So she was compelled to go to the meeting there in Granite Falls. We have Associate Superintendent Dr. Jeff Church, who's sitting in for Dr. Phipps this evening. So we're going to continue on here with the meeting. And the first item is the invocation for the board. And I'd like to call on Mr. Chris Bumgarner.
Thank you, Chairman Piddle. Good afternoon. In the past week, we've had the opportunity to witness the commencement ceremony for the Caldwell Early College High School. And in the next month, we'll have the opportunity to witness the remaining graduation ceremonies taking place here in Caldwell County. Tonight, as we pause for a moment of silence, I would like for each of us to reflect on all the hard work and dedication that each student has put in to reach this milestone. I ask that we remember each student as they move on to four-year colleges, community colleges, the military, a trade or vocational training program, or enter the workforce. We are so proud of each of these students and wish them well on all of their endeavors. Please pause with me for a moment as we reflect on the hard work of each of these students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bumgarner. Next, we're going to have our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight we have two fourth grade students from Granite Falls Elementary School. Ava Anderson, daughter of Dan and Megan Anderson, and Colby Green, son of Chris and Rachel Green. So if everyone will please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ava and Colby. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda which the board has had an opportunity to review. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as has been presented?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next, on April the 4th, we had a work session here at the Education Center, and minutes were taken from that, and the board's had an opportunity to review those. Do I hear a motion that we have approval of the work session minutes from April 4th, 2019?
I move that we approve the work session minutes for April the 4th, 2019.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that motion passes. Next, we have minutes from the April 8th, 2019 regular meeting and a closed session meeting that same night. do I hear a motion that we approve those minutes as presented?
I'll make the motion, we approve the April 8th meeting for regular session and closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Bumgarner. He has some announcements that might be of interest to you.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell. This is certainly a busy time of the year across all of our schools in the county with different awards programs going on, testing going on here at the end of the year. So some of the things that we want to make sure we mention tonight coming up in the next, over the next month. The Caldwell Career Center Middle College graduation will be May 22nd at the J. Broyhill Civic Center. That's at 7 o'clock p.m. Project graduation, the graduation celebration held at Bose will be June the 1st. That's going to be from 8 p.m. until midnight. Again, June 1st, 8 p.m. until midnight. Our high school graduations will be on June the 8th, starting at High Brighton High School at 9 a.m. that morning. I'm sorry, South Caldwell High School at 9 a.m. I apologize. 12 p.m. at West Caldwell High School, and then 3 p.m. at High Brighton High School, again on June the 8th. I'd also like to mention that this is National Police Week, and while I certainly appreciate all police officers and all that they do for communities across the nation, I want to personally thank our school resource officers for all that they do in this county, for ensuring that our teachers have a safe place to teach in and that our students have a safe place to learn in. So thank you to our school resource officers.
Thank you, Mr. Bumgarner. Just one comment about the graduation celebration, project graduation. You know, in the past, our graduations have been at night, and we've had to kind of split up and go in different directions. But they're all being held on one day, June the 8th, as Chris has already indicated. Be sure to encourage the early and middle college and all the high school students to come a week early of the graduation night. That'll be June 1st at Bose. It used to be that we would start that celebration at 10 o'clock and run till 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's going to be starting at 8 o'clock and running to 12. And on each hour, including starting at 9,
Starting at 10, we start giving away prizes.
start giving away prizes at 10. And there's wonderful prizes. TVs, computers,
Furniture for dorm rooms, refrigerators, Chromebooks.
a lot of great and money.
And cash.
A lot of money. And the big prize at the end is what, $500? So it's well worth for those students to be there on June 1st. We want a big crowd at Bose that night. This time I'd like to turn it over to Associate Superintendent Jeff Church.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of announcements as well. Last week, we celebrated Special Olympics. We had over 200 special athletes and 150 volunteers, and we thank all the athletes for participating, and we thank all the volunteers for what they did to make that happen. Also, Caldwell Early College High School graduated on May the 11th, and this past week as well. Congratulations to all the third years there and the seniors there. Tomorrow, we're having our first school justice partnership meeting. We're meeting with local court counselors, law enforcement personnel, and juvenile personnel to come up with a plan and make a plan to help the youth in our community. So we're looking forward to that. That is tomorrow.
What time?
It will be at 2 o'clock. And it's here. We'll be celebrating our Chains for Children on May the 15th, and that's for all the volunteers that helped make that a possibility. And Chains for Children is our local fundraiser for Robin's Nest, and we appreciate what Robin's Nest does and the services that they provide. All the seniors, as Mr. Pennell mentioned, got a lot of senior events coming up and a lot of school events coming up check your school calendars for that, and be aware of that, and get involved with as much as you want and as much as you would like to do. Also, we have at least one masonry instructor here. Mr. Scott Settlemeyer is in the back. We have an event of high school masonry students. All three masonry students, masonry teachers, masonry classes came together and began work and have completed work on the Charters of Freedom Monument, which is in Uptown Lenore. And it was interesting. We went through last week and watched as students from High Brighton, West Caldwell, and South Caldwell worked together to build these monuments. And those monuments will be housing our founding documents. There'll be copies of the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and Constitution. So hats off to our masonry students for making that happen. We appreciate you all for making that happen.
Anybody on the board want to brag on the early college high school? I was just going to say one or two things. 100% graduation rate at the early college high school. 66% of those students there are first-generation college students. 80 graduates. They received $5.3 million in scholarships. An amazing figure indeed. It was a fantastic group of students. 13 of them have full scholarships for their entire college education. So great group. It was a great night. Things ran extremely well, and just very happy for all those early college graduates. Next on the agenda is what many of you have come for, and that is the honors and recognitions. So I'm going to turn it over now to our School Community Relations Director, Mrs. Libby Brown. And the board's going to move down front, and we will congratulate those that she calls out here.
Chairman Hill, Vice Chairman Branch, board members, Associate Superintendent Dr. Church. It is always a pleasure to recognize our budding artists in the Caldwell County Schools. And we would like to call each one of you up and receive recognition from the Board of Education. And parents and friends, please come back because their artwork will be on display through June the 6th. So come back anytime and get pictures and share that with your family and friends. So as I call your name, students, please come up and receive recognition. It's Horizons Elementary, so Ms. Hartley, Teresa Hartley, principal, if you'd like to come up and greet your students as they come along. Katie Kenham is 3rd grade. Peyton Dewey is 3rd grade. Kyle Witherspoon is 1st grade. And from Valmead Elementary, if Miss Sturgis would like to come up, Carol Sturgis is the principal, and Savannah Tester is the art teacher. Mizel Diaz Torres, 2nd grade, and we know a lot is going on tonight. So we have band concerts and softball tournaments and soccer tournaments, and it's a beautiful day. so we're glad that you're here this evening. Natalie Hefner, 1st grade. Winchester Harefield, kindergarten. And Jania Whittington, 2nd grade. Oh, Jania's Okay, let's get a picture of these two schools first. So let's come to the center. So let's move to the center. Bring your medallion. And parents, feel free to come up and you can get your pictures as well. And James, did you get yours? Not yet. We're gonna let parents get their pictures first, and then we're gonna get a picture and post it on our website, caldwellschools.com. Okay, look this way, this Cheese. So let's get. There's Priscilla Capula from West Lenore Elementary, and Travis Gillespie is the principal. So congratulations, Priscilla. And Savannah Tester is the art teacher. Hannah Forehand, third grade. Molly Gunsley, she is also in third grade. So Molly. And Diego Martinez. He is here. So Diego, if you'll come up, he's a fourth grader. Then for Whitnell Elementary, we have Kim Case. She's the principal. And David Hefner is the art teacher. So Ms. Case and Mr. Hefner, if you'd like to come up and greet your students. Savannah Adkins is fourth grade. We have all fourth graders. Bailey Danner, fourth grade. Bailey's here. Okay. Avery Estes, fourth grade. Avery. And we have one more fourth grader from Whitnell Elementary School, and that's Brianna Gonzalez. So let's move in the center. Okay. Parents, feel free to get pictures. They're as pretty as a picture. Thank you. Congratulations. Still have some students. We have two middle school students that are also skilled artists and have been recognized at the state level for their artistic and creative projects. Riley Carter is an 8th grader at Collettsville School. She placed first in the original art category in the North Carolina Career Development Month Poetry and Art Contest sponsored by the North Carolina Career Development Association. Her principal is Jay McCarrier, and Libby Huff is the CTE director, and Libby tells me this evening that Riley is the first middle schooler in our district who's ever won a state championship for CTE. And that's in art, so that's a big deal.
We have another student, sixth grade student from Hudson Middle School. She was the winner of the North Carolina Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts in 2019, and she had a slideshow. So Julia Lovett is the principal at Hudson Middle School, and I don't think she was able to make it this evening. Is she here? She did make it? Where is she? Is she here? Okay, all right. All right, well, there's her certificate, and we are very proud of both of these state winners and their middle schoolers. So that's very nice. Okay. Career Technical Education, it seems to be CTE night. CTE provides students at all ages with the academic and technical skills, knowledge, and training necessary to succeed in future careers and to become lifelong learners. We would like to recognize and congratulate the following students for ranking in the top 10 at the state CTE competition called North Carolina Skills USA. So let's start with Caldwell Career Center Middle College, and Mr. Poole, Andy Poole is principal, if he wants to come up. And he's already given us fair warning that a lot of his students are working. So they're taking this CTE to heart. They're already employed. We had Adobe Video Design, Garrett Lawrence. American Spirit, Emery Lipford, Ayla Martin, and Kaylin Johnson, second place. Amore, yes. Then for electronics technology, we had Zachary Atkins, second place. Engineering, technology, and design, we had Caleb Pucci, Dorian Honer, and Wesley Yates, second place in the state. Extemporaneous speaking, Alan Clark took fifth place in the state. Information technology services, Amber Adkins, third place in Skills USA for North Carolina. Robotics, Urban Search and Rescue, Isaac Bast and Garrett Barlow, fourth place. And television video production, Megan Conley and Jennifer Demiquez, third place. So I'm trying with some of these. So we also have, I think this is probably a large group. So let's do a picture just with the Career Center Middle College. So let's just move to the center. Very proud of these. We had 20 students in the top 10 in the North Carolina competition. So very proud of them. Before you sit down, are any of your teachers in the audience? Any of the teachers here? We want to make sure they get recognition as well. So congratulations again. High Brighton High School, David Caldwell is principal. And Maggie Willis was fourth place for job interview competition. South Caldwell High School, Ken Robbins is here representing South Caldwell. He is the assistant principal. So Ken, if you'd like to come down. Trenton Johnson Masonry estimating, 3rd place, and Scott Settlemeyer is the masonry teacher at South Caldwell. So Scott, if you'd like to join us. And we also had Riley McNeil construction estimating. Is that Mike's student? And Mike Sims, I think that's your student. And guess what? Riley's the state champion. And Mr. Sims is his teacher. And Austin Teague. Is Austin here? Good job, Austin. Austin took 5th place. So we'll have another photo op with our Skills USA champions. Now we'd like to congratulate Collinsville students winning not just 2nd place in the North Carolina Gravity Games, but 1st and 2nd place in the North Carolina Downhill Gravity Games using gravity and potential mechanical energy as the only propulsion mechanism to pass all the other racers in the North Carolina Gravity Games. This is an excellent opportunity for our young people to participate in a hands-on event that gets them excited about science, technology, and engineering, an annual event since 2011 sponsored by Google, Appalachian State University, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and the City of Lenoir. So we're going to start with our 2nd place team, Collinsville School. And as I call your name, please come forward because we have one certificate for the entire team. This was the kit car division, so there were 2 divisions. Josh Edwards, coach for Collinsville School. Josh, here to see you. Maddie Tackett, coach. And Patricia Hartley. Here comes Josh. And Patricia Hartley, coach. And Maddie Tackett, coach. And now I'm going to call the students. Fisher Shue. And Mr. Jay McCarrier, he is the principal, very proud of each of these. He was there all day at the NC Gravity Games cheering them on. Jack Swanson, Lane Swanson, Norval Green, Noah Caldwell, Trent Tackett, Danica Binge, and Cora Edwards. So who was the driver?
Here's the driver.
And here was our driver. Okay, so he took it across the finish line. So let's give them all a clap. Let's all get in the center. We want to get a picture of our team. They look very proud, don't they? You stay, Mr. McCarrier. He's a member of the Ruritan Club in Collettsville. And actually, the Collettsville Ruritan Club sponsored a car, and the students from Collettsville was the crew for it and the driver. So they took first place. So Collettsville took first and second place, and there were 80 different teams competing from all across North Carolina. So Larry Richardson, he is the Ruritan director. Come on up, Larry. Larry and Patsy. Yes, Larry and Patsy Richardson, they are the And the members of this team are Brett Vines, and this is our driver, Luke Vines. Is Luke here? No, Luke isn't here. Okay. Ellis Watts. Ellis. And Isaac Willis. So this is a small team but mighty in force because they took the winning car across the line. So we're proud of them. So we'll have a... Yeah, he's our driver. Come on, driver, get in the middle. Involving our students. Thank you. William Lenore Middle School has competed every year in the North Carolina Gravity Games, and they've always placed in the top each year. But this year was different. They not only placed in the top, they took the championship in the engineered car division, a much-deserved winning for the William Lenore 8th grade engineered team. And I'd like for them to come forward for recognition. Rylan Sedlacek is the driver. So let's have the driver first. Is he here? Got his t-shirt, his nitro. And the pit crew members are Gracie Pennell, Chase Jarvis, Aiden Pennington, and Macon Green. And we have the proud principal Lisa Vaughn with us here this evening, and Beth Fox, who's been coaching this team since 2011. Beth, do you have your other coaches here as well? And we also have C.W. Lackey. He was a volunteer for the engineered team. He is also Aiden Pennington's grandfather, and he owns C.W. Lackey Construction. So we love that type of partnership with our schools. And let's give them another big round of applause. That you stay until the final recognitions are given because you're going to want to hear the very last recognition. It's something very unique and special. You probably need to get beside Beth. Congratulations! So proud of you. Congratulations, team. We do have another recognition for CTE before I get to the one I was telling you about, but all of these are very special in their own right. South Caldwell High School Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, demonstrate effective leadership skills at the North Carolina State Leadership Conference, where students competed in team and individual events. They took recognition tests and they attended workshops. So qualifying for nationals this summer in San Antonio, Texas, third place local chapter annual business report, Abby Flary. Okay, thank you, Abby Flary. I don't think Jessica is here this evening. Okay, she's in band. This is the band concert I alluded to at first. Chapter achievement, chapter challenge includes super sweeps, nonstop November action awareness. The chapter achievement, this entire chapter won the outstanding chapter recognition. So South Caldwell and Ken, great job for FBLA at South Caldwell. Yes. Other state winners include, and if we have our business teachers here, let's see, Gina Kincaid, how are you? Gina's not here this evening, but we have Lenora. Come on up, Lenora. Lenora is one of the co-advisors for this fantastic team. Top 8 t-shirt design, Landry Wright and Katie Weinbarger. I think Katie may be here. Yes. Top 10 FBLA fax recognition test, Jessica Esquivel and Abby Flera again. So Abby gets the second one. I don't think Sawyer Rideout is here. Okay. Top 10 economics, Caleb Cook. So Caleb is here, yes. Top 10 impromptu speaking, Alexa Citron. She's in band. Okay, and here's another one for Abby. Abby, come on back. Abby was the top 10 in journalism as well. So fantastic job for Abby. We had top 10 sports and entertainment management, Mikey Esquivel and Samuel Fisher. I think they're both in band. Chapter recognition, they also received recognition for 100% FBLA membership class participation. They also collected 98 pairs of socks for Northwest Region Sock Drive during regional competitive events. So this is a really cohesive unit at South Caldwell High School, and they went home with tons of awards. So we're very proud of them. We're proud of each one of you. Lenora, get in there. Yeah.
She tried to hide, but she knows.
No, we're not going to. You did a fantastic job.
Very good.
Thank you. And we have one more special recognition. And we have had a visitor to the Caldwell County Schools, and we would like to publicly welcome her by the Board of Education. Her name is Timwani Shalinga. You can come on up and get right up here with the board. Timwani Shalinga is a visiting teacher from Lilongwe, Malawi, and she is participating in a cultural exchange sponsored by the Education Foundation of Caldwell County. This exchange has provided a unique opportunity for our teachers and staff in the Caldwell County Schools to be enlightened by Timwani's life story, her exemplary character, and her continual efforts to teach and to help others. I just want to give you a little brief summary of what she has shared with us about her life in Malawi. Timwani and her students walk an average of 90 minutes to school, one way. And she has a student who walks 3 hours one way to get to school. She teaches 200 students a day. Her school children's families generally only eat one meal a day. They have no electricity, they have no plumbing, or a nearby water source. And if they get to the river, it usually takes them about an hour's walk. Timwani has one link to the outside world, her solar-powered phone, which provided the connection to the Caldwell County Schools through shared learning. Timwani is the guest of Carly Schwartz, a third-grade teacher at Davenport A+ School. So we can thank Carly for bringing her into our life. Carly, come join me, please. You have been with her, been by her side the whole time she's been here. While being here in Western North Carolina, Timwani has explored ways to provide her community in Malawi clean, accessible water. We are inspired by her drive and strong will to serve others. She leaves a footprint of compassion and perseverance in the Caldwell County Schools. Timwani departs this Saturday, and we want to thank her for being with us these past 2 weeks, for sharing her courageous life story, and we hope that she is blessed with good health and continued success. Timwani, our door in the Caldwell County Schools is always open to you. Timwani from Malawi. Kelly Smith, she's the principal from Davenport, and I think she's adopted Timwani too. So we want to make sure that you get in the picture. And Timwani, that medallion is a token of our appreciation and the lapel pin. I knew you would want to hear that. I knew that was worth saying.
Okay, now we're going into our business part of the meeting. It would be an appropriate time if you have dinner waiting or maybe homework or something else to do. So anyway, thank you for being here tonight, and have a good evening.
I will. I wish those civic students could go get a picture with her. That would be a great thing to do.
What class is it?
I'm going to see if they want to.
Honors. Okay, we're going to continue with the meeting, and we would like to welcome, I think we have, 7 students from Mr. Ramsey's AP Civics and Economics class.
Have one earlier today, too.
Okay. Very good. We're happy that you're here, and I guess you'll be here till the end of the meeting, and you'll get a picture taken over here so that Mr. Ramsey will know that you were here and that you stayed the duration of the meeting. Okay, we'll move along with the meeting, and next on the agenda is public comment, and we have received no public comment, so we're going to continue on with the agenda. I'd like to, at this point, turn it over to Associate Superintendent Dr. Jeff Church.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I have 3 items for your action tonight, and all of these were presented to you by Mr. Garner, our Child Nutrition Director, at our recent board work session. The first is the community eligibility provision for the 2019-20 school year. I respectfully request approval of the provision as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the community eligibility provision for 2019-2020 school year as presented?
I move that we approve the community eligibility provision for 2019-20 school year as presented.
Any comments or any questions? We did discuss this in work session a week ago. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Item B is the award of the milk bid for the 2019-20 school year. And for this year, it will be awarded to Pet Dairy again upon approval, and respectfully request approval as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the milk bid to Pet Dairy for the 2019-2020 school year?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the milk bid to Pet Dairy for 2019-20 school year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Item C is the approval of the procurement plan for child nutrition for the 19-20 school year. I respectfully request the approval as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the procurement plan for child nutrition for the 2019 and 20 school year?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the procurement plan for the child nutrition for the 2019-2020 school year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
Did the bid come from, is it through Cisco again? I know he was,
U.S. Foods.
U.S. Foods?
Yes.
So that's the same service, is that, or a different service?
Same service.
Same
that we've
service,
been doing.
yeah.
It was a rollover year.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Church. Next, Dr. Bill Griffin, Human Resources.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, Dr. Church, members of the board, thank you for giving me time this evening to present 3 items for your attention. The first item is Human Resources usual and customary informational items. And you can find those informational items at your discretion there in the attachments. The second thing is Subject B, Human Resources usual and customary. These are action items and will need your approval. I would respectfully request approval of the following: the May hirees, probationary rehires for 1-year contracts, our probationary rehiree 2-year contracts, and our administrative contracts.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary action items as spelled out by Dr. Griffin?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the Human Resources Services usual and customary action items as presented by Dr. Griffin.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any
Chairman Pennell,
comments?
I need to
Okay.
recuse myself from voting because I got a family member on the
Okay. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you very much. And finally, Subject C, Human Resources Usual and Customary Personnel Action Items. This is our substitute list. I respectfully request approval of those listed below, those substitute teachers.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the Human Resources Services Usual and Customary Personnel Action Items as you have reviewed and as Dr. Griffin has presented?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the Human Resource Services Usual and Customary Personnel Action Item as presented.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin.
Yes.
Next, we have our Chief Finance Officer, Mr. David Johnson.
Hey, good evening. Mr. Chairman, board members, and Dr. Church, I have two budget amendments tonight. Budget amendment number 14 is for the State Public School Fund. It's in the amount of $125,682. It is for additional allocations in PRC 003, non-instructional support, school technology, PRC 15, developmental day funds, and the allocation of the Indian gaming revenue. The second budget amendment is number 15. It is for the Federal Grants Fund. It is for PRC 105, Title I School Improvements, additional allocation, and some other transfers as requested by the program directors. It is my recommendation these be approved as submitted. If approved, it will bring the total operating budget for Caldwell County Schools this year to $122,394,571.13.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the amendments, Amendment 14, the State Fund Amendment, and Amendment 15, which is the Federal Grant Amendment?
Make a motion, we approve Amendment 14 for the state fund and Amendment 15 for federal funds.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to turn it over to our Associate Superintendent, Dr. Jeff Church.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Exhibit A is board policy revisions recommended by the North Carolina School Board Association and the Caldwell County Schools. There are 7 updated policies, including 1 policy update with an impending critical deadline, and there are no new policies in this update. And I respectfully request that these be put on a 1-month comment period.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we place these recommended policy revisions that you've had an opportunity to review for a 1-month comment period?
I'll make the motion we put the revised policies on a 1-month period.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? I think we have had the opportunity to review this. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
A lot of reasons.
Huh?
A lot
Oh,
of reasons.
oh, yeah. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next on the agenda, we need to go into closed session. Does anyone want to make a motion that we go into closed session?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we move and convene to closed session pursuant to the reasons listed on the agenda.
Is there a second?
Sure.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. We will be in closed session for probably a reasonably brief period of time. So if y'all wait around a little bit, we'll get a couple pictures at the end, okay? We'll be back shortly.
Okay, I got you.
It's life, we fat never, because he wouldn't be on the wall. He just wouldn't do it. I just got He said, yeah, this guy in the office when I was rolled off the floor, I went, oh, he's environmentally, helpful people, and I thought he'd be friends with me. I said, you're kidding me. He goes, no, I water for people. They do. I said, I have to send you her information. Because I'd never heard of it, so I went online and I looked, and it's very structured. I mean, it's not like just feel good,
Right,
best of intentions. But it's
Like actually
it's a spin-off from like several government agencies. It became a nonprofit, and it's like the CEOs, and there's a award list, and there's 4 or 5 different locations in the United States. Yes. That would be so cool. That would be. Because, I mean, the wine to water is the best of intentions, and that's why.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what Caldwell's doing. And I read an article about this guy a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, he has the best of intentions. He just doesn't have that, he may have some funding, he just doesn't have that level of support that's already established.
Yeah. So he's going into it just
Like blindly.
yeah.
Like, I wanna help.
Just like, I want to do this.
Yes. Yeah, you guys go knock up all the rest of the snacks. That's what I want to do. I bet they are. So, do you, is there anything right now? Oh, I got it tomorrow.
It's all just,
So what was Gary doing?
Gary had the Grenfells.
Oh,
They did their budget.
Right.
And then I told him to just go ahead and like, not worry about coming. Because so I think he went to the game hall meeting because there's at 7. He doesn't usually go because.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. It's at 7 o'clock, so you're not gonna wait around long just for 2 hours to go. But he was like already working, so it makes sense.
so how do you like him? I like him. He is a good dude. He seems very,
Yeah. He knows what he gets the words that I'm saying. Which is a low bar. But it's one that we have.
It's a low bar.
But, you know, it's nice. So he's
But it's one, that's a bar that needs to
it
be
needs to
set.
be set. So, yeah, it's good.
Well, some can't measure up to that.
Yep. So,
Been down that road.
that's why we have a bar now.
Oh, no, we're getting, I just went on and on.
I know.
15, 20 minutes, and I thought, I was like, coming off, I was like, wow. I was like, that sounds really
Yeah,
nice.
it's
You know,
like,
it's like, wow. And he goes, what did?
Yeah.
And I went,
It's like you would
did
say.
you not write that down?
I know, or like, did you not? Like, he would say things back to you, like in a way where he was like, oh yeah, so it's like this, and you're like, no, it's not like that at all. You know? So Karen's but, I want to.
She was in the eighth grade.
But he still does a good job. Just like,
Maybe Guy feels too, like, I'm at
yeah. For a long time, he was like, he went to like that, like, training quarters. But he only should change because Kara and I have both stayed. So.
And are you planning to stay a little bit longer? Right, and y'all seem like everything's working out.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Pretty much here for the foreseeable future, so.
I love it. What is Drew?
He's a bartender. He's been here for a long time. Not the person that I saw somebody else with, but
Does he like it?
and
Did
he's
every
wanted
time
to
take a drink? I guess you have to personality.
And he's like really professional about it. I think when he started, he was kind of like,
And I don't drink. And I don't drink alcohol anymore. And honestly, I think I would be tempted.
yeah, like as it was
I'm
happening.
sitting there making a wine rush.
Right, yeah, to like.
Kahlua and milk. Let me just smell
Yeah,
that.
right. I think he's pretty good about it. Like,
Oh, really? But they're not allowed to drink on it?
Yeah, you can't drink. There's like a certain amount, you can have a little bit, like up to like 1 beer, I think, just so like you try. Like,
But not
seriously,
Yeah.
Right? You didn't drive to Charlotte this morning?
It's just like the shift doesn't go well, you know? So, and he thinks all we do.
Where's he
I
going?
said I'm going to
He works at Big Back Drives in Hickory. Yeah, and he
Oh,
just,
I've heard really good things about that place.
I honestly don't know how much this salary part thing, but it's really, it's a nice place.
Isn't it a bar or restaurant?
Yes, yeah, so he works,
I haven't been there, but I have heard some good things about it.
they have like a little outside patio bar, and that's where he works usually. And he just like 3 nights a week. And then he works at like a train charities. And that's all, he doesn't work Fridays or Saturdays.
And he's still got skin on it.
He has a lot of followers, like people are doing. Like, so, I think he just has regulars.
So did you need it?
Yeah, it's all really obvious.
That's why I didn't go see it.
It's 100 maybe. They do like a, my friend used to live in Valley's, and he's like, let's go play it. It's like, okay.
I just ate.
Yeah, let's do it regularly. So, I got kind of lucky, but yeah. I don't think he's really done those. But he has a house. A lot older than me. But.
And you're like 23. But some people are young at heart.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like.
And some people are like,
It's
like we were talking, when we went to this, yeah, we went to the bar tonight. And Tyler Smith, who is a senior.
You got
And I saw his mom. So two weeks ago, I'm afraid it is.
Yeah, it's like, right.
And she's like, I was like, it's, and he's a talented artist.
Yeah.
And just a good core kid. But he has the maturity, though, of about an 80-year-old man. It's like he's already lived.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
And she's like, I know. I was like, he has like the spirit of Methuselah. He's already been there, done that.
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's like Drew and I will go to places. I'm like, it's like, okay, I'll go to the background. No, it's not far. So, we kind of even each other out. Right. I'm moving independent. So soon. Where does he live? He lives in Drexel. Oh, okay. He lives across the street.
So apparently you like his house.
Yeah, he's renovating it right now, but it's pretty nice. It's like 3 bedroom, kind of small, but like a little starter. And it was his great aunts or something. So he's renovating it right now.
At least he's putting some stakes.
Yeah. And then so values and sell it. Down to my dreams, but oh, she's like 83 and going strong.
My mother's 83, going through, so I'm not wishing for her.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I like Drexel, but it's not. It's like there's nothing there. It's just a bedroom community, you know. So I want to live like where I can walk to
Right,
things.
yes.
Yeah. So. But
And downtown.
it's so nice. I love it. It's kind of a bummer because I moved like close to downtown last year. It's like walk everywhere. You know, it's like I only lived there a year and a half. I moved to Drexel. I only got a year out of my life.
He'll move in where him and his grandmother died.
He's like, because he takes care of it, you know.
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay, we are back in regular session. We have one item before we adjourn here, and that is, we need a motion to add the special budget session on June 27, 2019, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Do I hear a motion that we make that addition to our calendar?
I thought it was already on.
What's the date?
June 27th.
That's
27.
Thursday.
I thought it was already on there,
When we
too.
revised the last time, it got left off at the
Okay.
bottom, so we revoted and it was gone, so it needs to be added back on.
Okay. All right, so we're just adding it back on. Hear a motion that we add the special budget session, which is probably about a 5-minute meeting.
I'll make the motion that we approve it.
Okay, is there a
Second.
second? We've got a second?
I can.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
What time was that meeting?
5 o'clock. Don't think we have anything else, anyone? So, we're going to adjourn, and then we're going to give you an opportunity to ask us a question or two. Do I hear a motion that we adjourn? Okay, second? Who?
I did.
Okay, very good. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we are adjourned from our regular meeting. We're happy that you're here.
Fire away.
Anything?